Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
GeForce Racing Leagues welcomes you to virtual Knoxville Speedway, the home of sprint car racing, for tonight's live coverage of the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event brought to you by GeForce Racing Leagues. Tonight's race is number 4 of 12, and we are so happy that you have joined us here tonight. Of course, all proceeds from all these events all week long will go to 5-year-old Lennox Mobley through the Steve King Foundation. Doug Elkins, along with Jake Fluman here, our second race of the night, and the first heat of the night is just getting ready to go right now. Jake Fluman joining us here. Jake, we just saw a good late model race here. I would imagine this one's going to be a barn burner tonight.
Yeah, and absolutely great late model race. Some late race action for sure, but 360 sprint cars are what we're racing now here at Knoxville Raceway, and yes, absolutely, it's going to be a fun one.
Coast to coast sim racing team, the Kreitz boys, sponsoring this first qualifying heat. A lot of the drivers have actually put money in to help sponsor these qualifying heats, including Roger Craig in this one, Preston Cranmer, Terry Landis, Joe Backus, John Short, Andy Patton, Gary Taylor, Bill Calder, and Mike Cranmer have all contributed to this. They paid fees to get in here. It's not just GeForce Racing League drivers, it's drivers from all over the place. Great mix of talent here. Let's take a look at the lineup. Preston Cranmer and Andy Patton are in row number 1.
You got Jack Clevenger in the number 21 machine, and Stephen Goldner sitting there in 4th.
Jonathan Short inside row number 3. Chase Hess, the Canadian, outside of him.
Nicholas and Cody is going to make up 7th and 8th.
Jordan Hill from Canada. Bradley Bacher, he's actually going to start at the back, an EOL penalty for him from last night.
And John in that 302 machine will be rounding out the field here in heat race number 1.
Again, fastest qualifier. They did invert the top 4. So Stephen Goldner, who starts outside of row number 2, was the fast qualifier at 15.639. And again, we saw a great race at this track last night. We saw a changeable track in the race we just saw. Hang on, guys. This is going to be fun as the green flag is out.
Down in turns 1 and 2. Preston is going to lead this thing down on the bottom side. Track is very fresh, got lots of grip. Andy is going to try to hold on to that second spot. He's right there in that middle groove, and there in 3rd place is going to be Jack.
No reason to lift that right foot. Usually in these early qualifying heat races, again, 4 cars are going to get in, and everybody lined up on the top side as we watch Clevenger looking for 2nd place.
These guys are nose to tail all the way down the field. One little bobble, one little mishap, it could cause a bunch of carnage here early in heat race number 1, but Preston is still holding off the pack of hungry hounds down the backstretch, down turns 3 and 4. And this Jack Clevenger, is trying to get to the inside of Andy, and he may have just got it down turns 1 and 2.
Well, you can definitely see him down on the inside. Will he be able to clear him coming out of the corner? Usually it's that high line that's able to keep the spot. Patton is watching Hess. He's the purple and white car back there in 4th. But the guy who's got to get moving right now is Jonathan Short. He's in the 28, and he's going to make a move for 4th right now.
He is on the outside, looking in, trying to make his way inside the bubble. We are side by side, wheel to wheel, 2 rows deep, as Jack is still going to try to capture that 2nd place, and looks like he may do it coming off of turn 4.
Pulls up. He is in that position now, so he is in the show. So is Patton, but the battle is that last qualifying spot between Hess and Short. Hess is now back on the outside looking in as he's falling back to fifth, so Short's worked his way in.
Just a couple of laps to go around Knoxville Raceway. Chase outside looking in. Needs one more spot. Has 4 cars in front of him. As he looks to the inside of Andy. As Andy tries to shut the door on him, but he opens the door right back up. Coming across the line as a white flag is going to wave.
Under a half mile to go. Cranmer solid in front. Clevenger and Patton, they look good in second and third. Jonathan Short's in that last spot, but that purple car of Hess, he's going to try to get it over here in the final corner.
And Jonathan left that door open down turns 3 and 4, but it looks like he's going to hold him off for that last transfer spot. Chase will go to the consolation race. Johnson, Short, Andy, Jack, and Preston are going to the Mac Daddy A-Main show.
Chase Hess didn't get in, but the one good thing for him is he will be starting in the front of the B main a little bit later on. Qualifying heat race number 2 is next. The good folks from Gambler Motorsports helping us out with this one. Drivers who are with them, excuse me, that didn't sound right. John Hine, Connor Ross, Michael Redding, Aiden Young, and Steven Spees. A lot of top talent in that Gambler Motorsports stable. So big thanks to them for their help this week too.
Heat race number 2 is gridding up already. And we got Steven, number 44 machine, will be starting on pole from the Midwest. And then you got John, number 71, will be starting on the outside of him.
And his group, John Hines' group, is sponsoring this one. Chris Sobeski, we just saw him do very well in the race prior to this. The Canadian will start in third, and Steven Saw Jr., a couple of Canadians there in row number 2.
Mike Schultz, Kyle, is going to be 5th and 6th place in this heat race.
Trent Verstaten on the inside in 7th. Trent Brenneman is outside of him. He'll start 8th.
Dennis Stonebreaker, number 27, 9th. And Stefan Gregory, number 97, was starting there in 10th place.
All by himself in the last row is Chris Whipple. He is hoping to have some good things happen as he is almost a half a second in qualifying behind our fast timer. Stephen Shaw Jr., by the way, was fast timer in this heat with a 15.648. They've been given the white flag. Next time they'll come by. How hard are they running out there, Jake? You think these guys are boarded like the late models were in their early heats?
These guys are flat out today. Fixed setups around Knoxville Raceway. Track is still very fresh. So yeah, you just really cannot leave the door open down there on the bottom side. As we see in heat race number 1, a lot of the guys were trying to slam the door on them, but man, if you just leave one little bit of sunlight, the guys are going to try to take it.
They really are, and that's how it works, especially with the speeds here at Knoxville. The outside will probably be the groove later. Right now, I think as tacky as it is, Jake, I think you can run darn near anywhere as the green flag comes out.
11 a car filled for this heat race number 2. John Hine gets a very good restart out there on the high side. Will he be able to power off coming turn 2? And yes, he will. Steven is going to try to get back to the inside, but not quite. He's going to settle in to 2nd place.
Watching as they sort their way out here on lap number 1. Battle for 3rd is the one we're watching. Down low is Stephen Shaw Jr., Chris Sobeski right there. One car getting a little loose. That just cost him a final qualifying spot right there.
Yeah, I think Chris Sobeski got a little loose, got into the side of him, and he went up the racetrack, got a little loose, and he fell back, I think, back to 6th spot.
Yeah, I think that was Stephen Shaw that was the driver who was in that position. Into the just outside of a qualifying spot now is Mike Schultz. That's the blue car that you see. But out front, John Hine looking good as he leads the field, running the high side here. They're working lap number 4 of 8, top 4 qualify.
As top 3 line themselves out, we jump right inside the cockpit, looking right outside the visor of Stephen Shaw Jr. Back there in 6th place, needs to pass 2 guys. Got this teal blue machine and this orange machine right there in front of him as they cross the line once again.
Mike Schultz is in the blue car. Kyle Jenkins is in the orange car. Jenkins is in the last qualifying spot. I guarantee you, he can hear what's going on back behind him right now. Battle for 2nd just ahead. We've got one car over.
He is flipping a big time. Almost went outside of the park, but he'll have to get a tow and no caution flags in these heat races.
That's one of the nice things. They haven't gotten that yet. Of course, it'll be different later on in the features. Watch it 2nd. I see Sobeski trying to get under. He can get a wheel underneath him. He just can't seem to get the run coming out of the corners.
Yeah, we'll see what the leader does here in turns 3 and 4 as well. And he is 1 lane already off the racetrack, running right smack dab in the middle So this track is already changing early in tonight's race.
Yeah, I mean, look at it already. You can see a little bit of the black from the rubber getting laid down already here. But how about John Hine? Strong run out front. He's over a half a second in front. There goes Sebeski down low, trying to get by Steven Bixler, as second is still a good race. Kyle Jenkins is still in the last qualifying spot, but Stephen Shaw Jr. and Mike Schultz are not out of it yet. And, of course, coming across the line, John Hine will get the win.
In that battle for second place, I think Chris was able to sneak away with it over Steven. As we was watching this last transfer spot, Kyle Jenkins was able to capture that last transfer spot, but Stephen Sean Jr. was the first car on the outside looking in. Now, he had a very good start to the race, but a little bit of wheel-to-wheel action got him a little loose and up the racetrack, and he fell back to sixth place.
He'll have a good starting spot in the B main later on. I'm not sure if we're running a B and a C just yet. We'll find out that a little bit later on. Here's your lineup. Remember, they invert the top four. So Jeffrey Barker, fourth fastest qualifier, will start on the pole along with Terry Landis.
Robert, number 55 from Carolina, he'll be starting in third. And Kenny Miller, number 42 from Pennsylvania, will be starting in fourth place.
Matthew Croak and Roger Craig will sit in row number 3.
Andrew, number 22, Machine, and Andrew Smith from Canada, from number 79, he'll be starting in 8th place.
Daniel Vaught and Nathan Aldrich will round out the field. This is qualifying heat race number 3, brought to you by the Spartan Racing Team. Their drivers include Kyle Parker, Nicholas Vickery, G.J. Boydell, Andrew Smith, who's out there in this one right now, Wayne Miller, Lance Ripka, and Tom Taylor. So thanks to them for their sponsorship of Epsilon Wraps Charity Week here on the GeForce Racing League. So 8 laps again. Top 4 are going to be into the show as we watch them get ready for the start. They got the white flag that time. What are we noticing out here so far, Jake? Only 2 heats, and already a lot has changed.
Lots of change, and these guys have some very cool wraps on these machines.
Yes, they do.
This Terry 661 there in second place got these orange rims with that teal blue color.
Hey, it might be an SU fan from up here in Central New York. That's what I'm going with. I'm gonna stay with that for now. But again, a lot of these drivers have spent a lot of time in the wraps, and Epsilon Sprint Wraps has actually done a lot of these wraps, and we'll be meeting the top finishing Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver at the end of the night. So thanks for them for sponsoring this entire week. Barker and Landis can see the green flag. It waves, and we are racing here at the home of sprint car racing, Knoxville in Iowa.
Top 4 advances to the A main, and we have 4 guys that you can just toss a blanket over. We got one guy crazy loose back there, and they get collected in. We'll keep it right here, though, as these guys try to make it 3 wide, and they do. Come on lap number 1, coming off a turn 4, but Terry Landis is going to lead at lap number 1.
Tough start for Barker, back to third as we watch Kenny Miller and Landis now racing up in front. And also Robert Satterfield is looking for position number 3 as he's trying to groom up that bottom side to get by Barker. Matthew Croak is on the outside looking into the black and white car, the black and orange car.
That outside lane is getting higher and higher. Kenny Miller was trying to work that middle or that bottom side like you were saying, but looks like he's moved up to the cushion or right there to that middle side. You got Jeffrey Barker, number 51, holding down third place, and Robert is that last guy in to the A-main show, sitting there in fourth.
Satterfield was the fast qualifier, so keep that in mind as he was just a little bit quicker than everybody else. And you can see Barker now looking on the outside, possibly here for second. Nope, pulls back in line.
Jeffrey almost slapped the wall there, coming across the line, but he has all sorts of pressure right there in front of him and right behind him. But Matthew Croak, number 2 machine, needs to catch up to these guys, and I think he may be doing it slightly, reeling them in.
Well, the guys in front of him are smart to stay single file at this point, and there goes Barker as he tries to take a look to the inside.
All orange rims is leading this race of Terry Landis. Then you got Kenny Miller, the top 4, putting on a show here for us on heat race number 3. But yeah, these guys, they just got to finish. Slide job for the lead.
Miller gets him, and Landis says, hey, that's a good idea. I think I'll try that myself as we've got 1 more lap to go. Wow.
Terry capture the lead once again, round turns 1 and 2. We'll see what happens as Kenny Miller tries to diamond cut the corner. He almost gets to the side of Terry Landis. Down turns 3 and 4. Slide job for the lead, and Kenny Miller grabs it. Can Terry do the crossover back to the line, and Kenny Miller's going to sneak away with this win.
Wow, they really went for it at the line there, too. Landis ended up getting his car sideways. He finishes second. Jeffrey Barker ends up in third. Robert Satterfield ends up with the final qualifying spot in position number 4. Interesting race there. That was a lot of fun in qualifying heat race number 3.
That was all sorts of action. Top three definitely put on a show for us. But as you've seen, that line keeps getting higher and higher, and you can still make that bottom side work, but it looks like that middle side is the way to go.
It sure does at this point. And again, this is, I got to ask you, because you know a little bit more about this than I do. Is this one of the more changeable racetracks out there on the tour?
I think this is definitely a 2-groove racetrack, definitely in these 360 sprints. You can run all the way next to the wall or all the way down to the bottom inside curb and make both of them work, just however your driving style is and whatever suits the best.
Well, of course, these are 360 sprints. They're going to change the racetrack probably quicker than anything except maybe the 410s. This qualifying heat race number 4 brought to us by the folks at Peerless Racing. Their drivers include Stephen Shaw Jr. and L.W. Wise. So thanks to the folks from Peerless Racing. Again, a couple of the drivers stepping up to sponsor and help out here on this big week.
Grid for heat race number 3. Wayne Miller is going to be starting on pole, and J.G. Boyd ran a very good dirt late model race just about an hour ago. He'll be starting on the outside of the front row.
Kyle Parker inside of row number 2 along with Michael Redding.
You got Ross, number 5 from the Northwest, will be starting in 5th, and Luis, number 43, will be starting in 6th place.
Bradley Wright will start from 7th. Gary Taylor will be in position 8th.
And you got Daniel and Bill Bacher rounding out the field there, 9th and 10th place.
So we are ready to go. Again, 8 laps will be the distance here in this qualifying heat. They've inverted the top 4, so Michael Redding, who will start 4th, was the fastest qualifier in this group right here. And again, top 4, that's how you get in. Everybody else, well, they'll have to go to the B main, which is coming up right after this.
Constellation race, and we have one guy pulled all the way down to the inside. Don't know what happened. He just slaps the inside wall there down the backstretch and got right back in line. But these guys are stacked up, packed up. Pace truck makes that hard a left. These guys got to wait for the green to flag before they step on the loud pedal. These guys are inching to the flagman. The flagman is going to toss a white flag, and we're shimmying and shiving down into 1.
We are racing now, and off the bottom, Wayne Miller gets the good start, but right back to the outside goes Boyd Dell as he will take the lead going into turn number 3.
Wheel to wheel for 2nd place, down turns 3 and 4, and that got real close. That's Wayne Miller. Kyle Parker, 3rd and 4th place, and here it comes for the lead is Michael. Can he capture it? He makes contact, and we got a big stack up.
And G.J. Boydell got the worst end of that deal. Someone up into the fence tumbling, but Boydell's out of a qualifying spot. Michael Redding is now your race leader. That's the red and black number 30.
Kyle Parker is back in 10th place, got that toe. He's lost 7 spots, but now it's Michael, Donovan, Wayne Miller, Bradley Wright is a top 4 trying to make it into the A main.
I don't know what's he got on that wing. Is that some M&Ms or something out there? I see the circles up there. That's certainly an interesting car. As everybody is going up to the top side of the racetrack. Redding, Ross, Miller, and right there in Maitland, Plow, Boydell, Taylor, Bacher, and Parker, along with Andrew Ewing, are on the outside looking in.
And Michael finished 2nd place in the dirt late model race about 45 minutes ago to an hour, and he really liked that bottom there in the A main.
He did, too, and we'll see if a similar situation happens in this race. The top 4 have clearly separated themselves from the rest of the field. We just completed lap number 5. We're working lap number 6 right now here as there are 3 laps to go, and we might have some action here for 2nd place. 2nd place is heating up big time. I'll jump right inside the visor of Wayne Miller, sitting there in 3rd place, trying to figure out a way around Donovan Ross, but like we said in the other heat races, sometimes, man, you just need a finish and get to the A main, but he is all over that back gas tank. And you can see he's looking to the outside this time. You can see he goes low for a little bit, and now he might have a run coming off this time as the white flag is out.
White flag out. He had to check up big time there, turns 3 and 4, so he did not make contact, but down the backstretch, Michaels has a very comfortable lead. Donovan trying to hold on 2nd place, but here comes Wayne Miller trying to look to the inside of him. Will he try to capture 2nd? And he is not going to. But Bradley Wright's going to be that 4th place car going to the A main.
gave it a shot, and off the last corner, you better look down to the bottom or do something there. So a nice job by him to get up there and take a shot at it. But another really good race here as action continues. Actually, we're going to be running a C main here next. So I like it when we get a little bit further into the alphabet like this. So the top 4 from the C will be advancing to the B, and they will start behind the other cars that already made it in to the B. So the C race, sponsored by Velocity Race Design. They are one of the companies that make these cars look so good, and we appreciate having them on board with us here tonight. So you got to get in through the C if you want to make it to the B, and then you got to go to the B to the A. It's nothing quite like your Chili Bowl in Oklahoma, but at least we're using 3 letters of the alphabet.
Yeah, for sure. Going from the C main to the B, do you know how many cars transfer up?
It says 4 going to the B, and then 4 from the C go to the B, and then 8 from the B will join the back of the feature, which makes sense because we had 4 and 4 heats, so that would be 16. So that would fill it in. So you got to be top 4 here, just like you did in your earlier qualifying heat. Stephen Gregory, Andrew Ewing, they will be on the front row for the C main.
Gary Taylor, Bradley Bacher is second row.
Row number 3, Dennis Stonebreaker and Nathan Aldridge will occupy that row.
Bill Bacher and Stephen Goldner, 7th and 8th place.
Chris Whipple and Roger Craig, neighbors in New York and Canada, they will be in row number 5.
And Kyle Parker, as we seen in that last heat race, he got that short end of the stick there in that big crash. And then John Rayner is sitting there in 12th place.
It'll be interesting to watch Parker, too, because he was fast. He was one of the top 4 qualifiers in that last heat race that we saw. So is that speed going to transfer here? Is he going to be able to get his way up? And the other thing I would think of, too, as we think about things, Jake, you can't be frustrated. You need a short memory. You can't hold on to that. You got to come into this with a clear mind, don't you?
Yeah, clear memory is definitely the best thing you can do. You know, just like hitting a bad golf shot, the next golf shot, you got to clear your mind and get ready to go. Same thing with all this horsepower. You got to do the same thing here for the C main and just try to get to the top 4 and get your way to the B main.
360s make well over 800 horsepower. I remember it wasn't that way a few years back, but they're just getting more powerful and more powerful every year. So Gregory and Ewing will bring them down to the green flag as we're anticipating the pace truck pulling in. There it goes, and we are ready for green.
Green flag is out. It is waving, and these guys stand on that loud pedal with that 800 horsepower down in turns 1 and 2. We'll see what all shakes out here in the C main as we got guys all over this place.
3 wide for that final transfer spot as was that Bacher down there at the bottom? Somebody made a crazy move and had themselves up in the 3rd there briefly, but out front, Stephen Gregory.
I have no idea how these guys have not wrecked yet. They were 3 wide for the entire lap. Number 1, you got this 41 machine trying to search all over the racetrack, trying to find some grip, and yet still trying to defend. That's Bradley Bacher. I guess it's the 103 up there on the scoring tower, but Stefan is leading this thing. Stephen Goldner 2nd. Andrew is 3rd, and Nathan is rounding out that last transfer spot.
And Goldner just picked up 2nd that last time over in 1 and 2, and it looks like he is running down our race leader right now. Not often do we see Stephen Goldner in a C, so if you're going to be in it, you better win it. But even after this, the work is not done yet, is it, Jake?
No, it's not. A very strong racer right there in 2nd place, looking all over the back of gas tank of our leader. Now he's going to try to look low down in turns 1 and 2. We'll see what all shakes out as we just hit the halfway point. A little slide of Job City for the lead, and looks like he may capture it.
Yeah, I think he's got it too. So he now has the lead as we sit in turns 3 and 4. Battle on the racetrack is crazy. Oh, we just had a wreck with everybody got together going for that last transfer spot.
No yellow flag here in the C main.
No,
we did.
Won't be.
Dennis Stonebreaker is that 4th place car. Roger Craig is trying to get back to his back bumper and try to make his way in. He's just 1 spot short.
And that is the battle right now. That determines whether you keep racing the rest of the night or whether you grab a bag of popcorn and watch the rest of this one. The Stonebreaker is in. As we said, Roger Craig is not. John Rayner is the purple and black car right behind him. He's not in either. And Kyle Parker, there's a lot of good cars that are not going to make it into this one.
No, and fixed setups, too. These guys are running the exact same setups, the exact same equipment, exact same horsepower and all. So it's all about your driving line and a little bit of racing luck, and we'll see what happens as this race gets a little tight for this last transfer spot.
Craig had a look underneath as there's 2 more laps to go. Remember, they always add a few extra laps to the B and C compared to what were the heat. Yeah, the only thing you can do here is move the wing back and forth and backwards and forwards. Outside of that, it's all in the driver's hands, and there he goes looking for that last transfer spot. He may have it.
Roger got that nose in right in turns 3 and 4. Pushed up Dennis. Now Dennis is way on the high and scary side. See if he can get a run down the backstretch coming off of 2. But Roger Craig, he tries to slam the door on him. And
I think he just did.
He just did, and he is going to come home in that last transfer spot, and he's going to move himself way up to the B main.
And Roger started 10th in that one, too. Ended up in 4th. Your pole sitter, Stephen Gregory, ended up 3rd. Good job by Stephen Goldner, 8th to 1st, and Nathan Aldrich, 6th to 2nd. It was nice to see some guys moving around on what looked like a very racy track.
Yeah, that the checker flag holder moved up 7 spots.
Amazing. That's a good sign. I like that. When you can see this kind of racing going on in the C, imagine what this B will be like. 17 cars on the sheet ready to take this one. And, of course, also sponsored by our good folks at Velocity Race Design. If you're like Jake and I, and you might have a few computer skills or two, Jake's got a lot more in mind, but you don't know how to make a car look good, they are the folks to talk to. Velocity Race Design, thank you for your sponsorship as we are ready to go here in the B. They're going to be gridding up here. I think they're just about ready to go, as this will determine the back end of our starting field. 8 drivers will make it in this 10-lap race with Chess Hayes, and Stephen Shaw Jr., a pair of Canadians, on the front row.
Matthew Croak is starting in 3rd, and Luis Melgen, number 43, will be starting in 4th place.
Nicholas Vickery and Mike Schultz will sit there in row number 3.
Andrew Smith and Daniel Blogg is sitting there in 4th row.
Cody Castleman and Trent Verstraeten, another couple of drivers from north of the border. They are in row number 5.
And Daniel and Boydell ran a very strong late model race, like we said during his heat race, but that's 11th and 12th spot.
Looking further back, Jordan Hill, Stephen Goldner. They are the next row back. Oh, excuse me, Andrew Smith and... I got all confused there. I didn't know how you were moving that down. So Jordan Hill, Stephen Goldner, next row back. Sorry about that.
And Nathan Steffen is 15th and 16th, and Roger Craig rounding out the field in that last transfer spot there in that C main. He'll be starting as 17th.
Yeah, no time for Goldner, Aldrich, Gregory, and Craig to rest, as they have mere moments before. No time to enjoy getting in, as now they've got even more serious work to do as they are at the back. Only 8 get in of the 17 drivers, so 9 of them are going to have to watch this. We'll see who that will be, as it looks like we're going to go green this time. Looks like the pace truck will be pulling in.
Top 8. Very cool looking paint schemes. They're stacked up. The pace truck will be making that left-hand corner. These guys got to wait for that green light to come on and step on the loud pedal. Top 8 move on for the B main to the A main, and here we go down turns 1 and 2.
Good start for Hess in that purple and white car as he jumps out to the early advantage. Croak is in the orange and black car. He is down on the inside of Meglin as they race for position number 3.
He did. He got a very good restart, but he has a little bit of company with Stephen Shaw Jr. Thought he may have went down to the bottom side, but he's going to follow in hot pursuit. They're next to the cushion. You got Melgen right there in 3rd and Mike Schultz in 4th.
Yeah, Schultz just made a move around Croak to pick up position number 4, as it looks like everybody's pretty much married to the top side here. I see Stephen Goldner's car way down low. He's back at about position number 9 right now. But again, top 8 is where you want to be. In that spot right now is Stephen Goldner. He just picked it up.
And we have one guy. He got crazy loose on that inside berm. He was able to collect it. That's Stephen Shaw, the junior, and he moved back from battling it out for 1st place back to hopefully maybe 3rd, or right now he's being scored 5th.
Still in the show, but obviously a costly move there, as that's going to cost him 3 positions on the grid if he does indeed transfer into the A. Again, top 8. We're still in that spot now. Trent Verstraeten is in that position.
Yeah, he has lots of pressure right behind him, as Stephen Goldner has now captured it there on the bottom side. He may try to slide up if he finds a little bit of daylight. Not going to be able to, but there you see the entire field besides Stephen Goldner is next to the high side, and he just makes contact.
It worked for him, though, as he ended up, I think, getting a spot out of the deal, maybe even more. I think Stephen Goldner has been the first guy to find something down there.
You got to go when you got to go, and he is making his way up front. Trent has that last transfer spot, but man, we got a crazy battle for this last transfer.
We really do. And Goldner, I noticed he pulled right back up now. So is he maybe content where he is? Well, actually, he's in, this is what I call catch-up mode. You've just passed the car in front of you. You want to get the guy in front of you. So right now is most of the time when you're running your fastest laps, right, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely it is. And the high side is definitely the quickest way around here. As a 17 car may try to slide right on up for Trent there for the last transfer spot, and it looks like he's going to capture it.
He did too. That was a we were wondering about that for a second. Didn't know if there was room for him to come back up there or not, but that was a good move by Daniel Blau to get up into that final qualifying spot. And if anything, he looks pretty solid in there right now. As we're going to get the white flag coming around right now. They just got it.
White flag, and Daniel's going to skip away just a little bit in that last transfer spot. So back up front we go. Chase led this thing from start to finish. You got Melgan second, Mike third. Matthews battling out with Stephen Shaw Jr., Stephen Goldner, Nicholas. And the last transfer spot is going to be Daniel.
Nice job by Stephen Goldner. He was the big mover in that one, 14th to 6th. Chase Hess started up front, got a good start right out of the box, and ended up leading every lap to get the win. So into the show goes Hess, Meglin, Schultz, Croak, Shaw Jr., Goldner, Vickery, and Blau. Everybody else, well, they'll get to come back tomorrow night and try it again, as we'll be back here again, roughly about 9:30, same starting time for this one here tonight. So the field is set, and we are now ready to go. We have everybody ready for this Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event.
Everyone rushes out to the racetrack to get as many laps as possible to try to fine-tune these machines, but these are a fixed setup, so
That's right.
the only thing you can really do is that front wing.
Yeah, so you can move the top wing back and forward. Of course, you move it back to get a little more bite on the back, and move it forward to take a little bit of that bite away. So like you were saying, that's really all they can do. So really, I think for something like this, it's more seeing how the track has changed, especially like for some of these guys that were in the first and second qualifying heats.
Yes, those guys' first, second qualifying heats, I was able to finish in that top four. Yeah, they haven't ran in quite a while, so this track definitely changed on them. So yeah, these guys just trying to break in the track and get their cars ready to go, get their muscle memory back. But look at all this splint mode around Knoxville Raceway. Everyone is next to that outside wall.
I love that shot right there. You can really see exactly what everyone is doing, and some of them you can barely see their cars because they're up so close to that wall. Of course, remember all the action this week taking place to benefit young Lennox Mobley, who was burned in a horrible accident in a late model race earlier this year. The Steve King Foundation is taking care of everything from behind the scenes. Steve was a racer himself, a dirt track racer who raced 360 sprints and a lot of that stuff as well. Unfortunately, Steve's no longer with us either, so we'll think about both of them tonight. But again, all the drivers have paid extra money to get into this tonight. There's a lot of who don't normally run with our league here on the G-Force, so we welcome them. We hope they stay. And boy, if those heat races are any indication of what we're going to see later, I think we're in for a good one here tonight, Jake.
Yeah, I just got a correction. These are open setups, not fixed setups like the dirt late models.
So they can play around a little bit. So I wondered why I saw a few drivers slowing down, blinking, and heading to the pits, because that's because they're making some adjustments right now to get better. I wish I understood it enough to know what to tell you they're doing, right? But I'm not that far into this, Jake.
Yeah, a lot of tweaking and tuning to go, trying to listen to their teammates as well. And but yeah, mostly a little bit of gear changing for this slick track and a little bit of top wing movement, but yeah, we'll see how these guys try to dial it in.
Of course, in every form of dirt racing now, shocks technology is becoming more and more important. So I would imagine it would be taking place here as well, as they've only got, I believe this is a 5-minute session here. They've got about 2 more minutes to go, and then we'll get things going. Preston Cranmer and John Hine, they won heats along with Kenny Miller and Michael Redding, so they'll be in the front 2 rows. Again, I love this shot from up top. It looks great. I love that blimp shot there. So you can really get an idea of this racetrack. I've never been, you've never been, but I hear every sprint car fan should eventually make a pilgrimage, they call it, out to Iowa and check out this racetrack.
Yep, and the Hall of Fame Museum is out here as well. So I heard that is very, very cool.
I've heard the same thing.
But some but the Knoxville National race is something to see if that is still on my bucket list to try to make it to.
And I'd even like just go out for a weekly show sometime, you know, and see how they do things, because they do run 360s out there on a weekly basis. So it would be fun to get out there and check this out. And like you said, check out the Sprint Car Museum, the Hall of Fame, as well, as I'm sure some great drivers are in there.
Yeah, some absolutely a pristine racetrack
Whoa.
around Knoxville Raceway, and got a little bit of information up there on the screen for the G-Force Racing League. Knoxville Raceway, weather tonight, 77 degrees.
Beautiful.
The track length is half a mile, 0.51, and the altitude is 922 feet there in the city of Knoxville.
And the city, from what I understand, is really all behind the racetrack, from what a lot of folks tell me as well. And as you can see from that overhead, the corners may look the same as you watch them go around, but they're not quite the same, which makes it just that much tougher.
Yeah, two little bit different corners for sure, but they are definitely not the same, as these guys are still trying to dial it in. We'll see who has the fastest lap time. This is going to be Chris, number 26, with that 16.39, but Stephen Goldner is almost matches race time with that 0.959.
Sebeski will be starting in position number 6. And of course, remember, we just saw Goldner in the B. He will be starting in 22nd. And we've seen him, I know you haven't been with this league very long, but we've seen him come from the back before. So it'll be interesting to see. Of course, Kenny Miller, 3rd fastest there. He will start in position number 3. Jack Clevenger, he will start in 5th. And that will do it for the hot laps. And we are now ready for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event for the A main here for the 360 sprints. The drivers who know setups are probably going to do pretty well here tonight, as they had a chance to learn something in that last session. And will what they learn get them to victory lane? We're going to find out here in just a little bit. Here's the lineup starting up front in the front row: Preston Cranmer and John Hine.
There in the second row is going to be Kenny Miller, number 42, and Michael Redding, 301 machine, will be starting in 4th.
Jack Clevenger was very quick in that hot lap session, and Chris Sebeski was quicker than anybody else. He'll start 6th.
Terry Landis from California, 7th. Donovan Ross, he'll be starting in 8th place.
We were riding with him a little earlier. Andy Patton will start inside row 5, along with Steven Bixler.
Jeffrey Barker will be starting 11th, and Wayne Miller, 12th place.
Next row back, as we look a little farther back, Jonathan Short and Kyle Jenkins will be there.
Robert Statterfield, number 55, 15th, and Bradley Wright will be starting 16th.
Chase Hess is inside row number 9, along with Lewis Meglin.
And Mike Schultz, number 16, 19th, and Matthew, number 2 machine, will be starting at 20th.
And Stephen Shaw Jr. along with Stephen Goldner, they will be in 21st and 22nd.
And Nicholas and Daniel is the last 2 cars making it in to the A main show.
You know, I saw one of those fireworks kind of take off at first, and I saw it go out from the above. It looked like it was running into the outside wall over there in turn 2. I was like, what is that? And I noticed it was a firework. Again, thanks to everybody for all their help here tonight. A&J Custom Creations will be providing replays for us this evening, and a big thanks to Epsilon Sprint Wraps, as they are sponsoring tonight's A main and the entire race week. This is race number 4 of the 12 race series. The top 10 will automatically transfer over to Monday's big championship night. So there is a lot at stake here, Jake.
Yes, lots at stake. Top 10 is definitely where you want to be here in the A main, so you can get moved on. But man, fireworks going off, Knoxville Raceway, 360 sprints, man. Doesn't get much better than this.
I remember one time I was at a race a few years ago here in town, and they didn't tell the drivers that they were going to launch fireworks on the white flag. It caught a few of them by surprise as they were in there. Do I have a problem? What was that noise? Oh, no, I just blew my motor. So no worries on that here in the virtual world, as we were ready to go with 24, the finest online iRacing drivers around, ready to go green. John Hine, Preston Cranmer, see the green, and here we go.
Stacked, filled, wheel to wheel, waiting for that long green flag. They get that green flag. They stamp on the loud pedal. The leader, Preston, slides up already to the high side. Kenny Miller has already moved up 1 spot there for 2nd place.
Yeah, Hine did not get a great start, kind of pushed up a little bit, and he's already back to 4th after starting on the outside, as Michael Redding is trying to get down to the inside of him as we watch the situation here. Kenny Miller out in front.
Kenny Miller,
Actually, Jack
Preston.
Clevenger, excuse me.
Jack Clevenger and John Hine is our top 4. As you see this, as we ride on board with Preston, he is slowly falling back now, riding that high side.
Preston Cranmer started in position right up there on the pole, back to third at this point. Kenny Miller having a strong run, and John Hine is back down to the bottom. Looks like he's going to get third spot.
Donovan Ross back there in 6th place in that all-pink machine, riding that high side. Looks like he went down to the middle side, though, so just kind of searching all over this racetrack. But, man, it looks like this bottom side, everybody's trying to fight for it.
Yeah, Sobeski's down there. He's running second. Now Preston Cranmer's down there. Clevenger is left on the outside. While this is going on, Kenny Miller has pulled out to almost a full and actually over a second lead on the field.
A 1.4 second lead for Kenny Miller. He has that hot rod dialed in as he just tracks right onto the bottom side. Chris is trying to catch back up to him, though. They're on the bottom side as well, but then 3rd place. Still kind of running this weird type of line, this middle line to this high side.
Well, you go sometimes where the car wants to go, and wanting to be in a certain place doesn't mean you're going to get there. But you're right. I mean, Clevenger is really running an interesting line. Preston Cranmer's got to be back behind him going, okay, I might want to adopt that, but still a good race here for the number 2 spot.
Yeah, he's bouncing that big right rear tire right off the cushion. He's getting some good runs, and he is wheel to wheel with 2nd place. Down turns 3 and 4 as he slides right back up to that outside cushion. But I got the last lap times up as these guys cross the line. We'll see who ran the quickest lap time, as Kenny Miller, our leader, ran that 17.7, and then Chris, 2nd place, ran a 17.6.
Interesting. So these are pretty good laps, actually, for this time in the race. Now, you can see Clevenger has kind of given up on that interesting line that he is running and is going to try something a little more traditional here as he goes back up to the high side to try to prevent Sobeski from driving away from him.
And then Preston is all kind of by himself, this island all by himself there in 4th place. Got lots of room in front of him and lots of room behind him, but Donovan Ross is still battling it out with John Hines for 5th place.
Yeah, that's the race on the track right now, and you can see Ross is comfortably in that position right now. Hine right behind him has got some company on the outside as Steven Bixler is there to try him along with Stephen Goldner.
FVP and Casey Journal Stores alongside that big top wing of his, the number 44 machine. But Stephen Goldner, he has already moved up 15 spots since the initial green flag, and he's moved himself up to 7th place.
Yeah, we watched him in the B, I remember, and we wondered how good he was going to be. I told you that we've seen him come from that position before, but I didn't think it would happen quite this fast as he is really putting down some good lap times. Jonathan Short watched him go through from 13th and has followed him up to 8th, so it's good to see some guys moving up from further back in the field, while Kenny Miller continues to dominate almost 2 seconds ahead of the field.
Yeah, dominating 2-second lead, and then let's just throw it, and let's just go ahead and toss the quickest lap time for Kenny Miller as well with that 17.5.
That's the 2nd fastest lap we've seen all race, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's purple all the way across there. So, wow, nice job is Kenny Miller out in front. Well, I'm not going to say put it on cruise control because it's not that easy, but he may catch some traffic here in a little bit, which could make things interesting.
Jumped right on side board with Stephen Goldner, number 30 machine, the guy, the hard charger guy. As of right now, as he is still riding in 7th place, as 6 and 7, Stephen and Donovan are putting up a very good fight right there in front of him.
Yeah, and Steven Bixler just caught the wall a little bit, so Goldner's going to try to catch the inside. I'm surprised that it didn't slow Bixler down a little bit because it looked like he had some pretty good contact with that. And right ahead of him, it looks like Ross caught a little bit of the wall as well.
And I just seen one guy go from about 13th place all the way back to 20th, so I'll jump back here to... We'll just jump back here with Jeffrey Barker back here in 15th place as we have kept it clean and green the entire race, no cautions, and we're just shy of 5 minutes into this main feature.
See, I was going to say that earlier, and I thought, no, don't say it. You know, 'cause I get too superstitious after all my years in this game, but you're right. I mean, this shows the talent right here that is in this field, that 24 drivers could run this long, run this clean. It tells you everything you need to know in my mind.
Yeah, these guys are top of the class, absolutely for sure, as we just seen Wayne Miller lose 2 spots as he got a little bit too high and touched the outside wall.
And that's easy to do here. That is one of the characteristics of this place. I'm kind of watching Jack Clevenger as he now solidly sits in second place. He's chopped the margin down to about 1.7 from almost 2.5, but he's still got a lot of work to do. And it's going to have to take a mistake, I think, by Kenny Miller or a caution flag to change things right now.
Yeah, and these guys are catching some lap cars as Wayne Miller, I believe, just went a lap down, or maybe it was Bradley Wright just went a lap down, but I got the track map up now. That is their running order, not their number not the car number, but their leader is just now coming across the line, and here comes second place.
And if you're Kenny Miller, this is exactly what you want right now. You see 21st place, that's right behind him there. If you could keep a lapped car between yourself and second, that is always the goal when you've got a comfortable lead in not just dirt, asphalt, any kind of racing I can even think of.
Yeah, with these laps are clicking off very quick as he goes down to the inside all the way up to the high side, puts that right rear tire along that cushion and gets all that power down. But yeah, lap 22 of 25. The only thing Jack is hoping for is a caution, and Kenny Miller is hoping not for a caution.
I'm watching Preston Cranmer right now in fourth. He's got some folks right with him, including Stephen Goldner, who is now up to position number 5 and thinking about trying to move here on him as Cranmer continues to work his way towards the front. Or excuse me, Goldner. Excuse me, he's up to 4th now.
Yeah, already up to 4th place, battling it out very tough. Moved up 18 spots, and he has captured 4th spot all by himself, really, as he tries to go around a lap car. They're on the high side, but Preston and Steven Bixler is the closest battle around this track, really.
And right now, as they take the white, Stephen Goldner's got to be going, what? No yellow? Come on, guys, I need one. But no problems out front for Kenny Miller, although this is about the closest we've seen it, about 3/10.
This is a very close lap. Cars in the way, down turns 3 and 4. Kenny Miller has that thing all the way in the slick. Jack Clevenger up on the high side. See if he can get some power coming off of 4, but Kenny Miller's going to hold him off. But I wasn't exactly too for sure what happened with our leader, but he lost all sorts of time.
I saw some slower cars around him, so obviously there must have been some contact there to slow him down, but nice job holding on. Way to stay with it for Jack Clevenger. Chris Sebeski ends up 3rd. Stephen Goldner, our hard charger, 22nd to 4th. That's quite the run. And Preston Cranmer, who started on the pole, 1st to 5th. Also in and transferring to Monday are Stephen Bixler, Donovan Ross, Jonathan Short, Robert Satterfield, and John Hine. Congratulations to all 10 of those drivers, and they have now qualified for Monday's championships.
Fireworks going off here at Knoxville Raceway for Kenny Miller. Started in, I believe, 3rd spot, and lap number 1, I think he was able to capture the lead, and he did not look back.
And this is one of those races that we often talk about. I mean, if you went to the bathroom, you missed this, as it was a little over 6 minutes is all it took. Of course, we have a special award for each and every one of these races, going to the top Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver. Preston Cranmer has joined us here in the booth. Preston, first of all, good run, 5th place. What happened to you?
Yeah, you know, I tried the bottom early. My car was set up for the top, and so I lost a couple of spots at the beginning, just trying to, the guys at the running the bottom were quicker early, and but once you had to move up top, I ran pretty good, and I was just happy to transfer.
Yeah, and that was the big thing, right? Is transferring to Monday, right?
Right.
So who is our top Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver this time?
I'm lucky to say it's one of my good buddies on my team. He is also part of the review committee. Actually, leads the review committee. So I'm glad he's going to get some recognition here. It's my good buddy John Short.
Very nice. So you won't give it to yourself, obviously. John, you had a good run, 13th to 8th. You made some spots up there. You are our top Epsilon Sprint Wraps driver. First of all, good run. Tell us about the race.
That was a great race by everybody. A lot of good racing around middle of the pack there.
Good win. Good win.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
We just we tried to keep it in the top 10. Tried to run a good race and keep all 4 wheels under us. Not trying to get anybody. We all know there's top 10 makes a transfer, so not to be stupid once we got up there in transfer spot.
The shot we're looking at right now shows you on the bottom. Was that pretty much your line the whole race there?
Yeah, I was kind of figuring the bottom would stick around a little bit longer than it did. That's where I made up most of my ground early on and just kind of rode around there. There's a good bit of grip on exit of turn 4 that was able to make up some ground. Turns 1 and 2 was a little tricky, so I went to slider line probably about midway through the race there on 1 and 2 and tried to run the bottom in 3 and 4 just because the cushion was a little treacherous and I didn't want to put it in the wall. So
I get that. Of course, Weatherby Photography helping us out with Victory Lane tonight. So make sure to check out them to promote your sponsors or maybe get your next media package together. Mention GeForce, get 20% off your purchase. Any thank yous you'd like to say before we let you go, Jonathan?
Big thank you to Epsilon Sprint Wraps, main sponsor here, and all the. I know there's a couple different teams that sponsored some races, so it's all for a good cause. Appreciate everybody that's donated. Obviously, we got some guys on the team. A&J Custom Creations does the trophy, and they'll be doing one for the winner of this whole deal. So they do great trophies.
They do.
Sponsors, GeForce, and you guys for putting on the race. And I can't thank my guys at Kretz Racing, Coast to Coast Racing enough. They've a lot of support there.
Good job, and we'll see you in the championship on Monday, John.
Thanks, Doug.
Very nice. And again, A&J Custom Creations, like he mentioned, you saw them on his wing there. They do. It's not quite. It's like engraving, but they do it on wood, so it is just so cool. The trophies look amazing. So a big thanks to A&J Custom Creations as well. So Chris Sebeski will be coming up, hopefully into the room next, and there he is. Chris, 6th to 3rd, a little bit back behind the leaders. Did you need a yellow, or did you need something else to happen to get up there a little farther?
I think I needed a couple tweaks on my setup. It wasn't quite where I wanted it to be, but it was quick, but I didn't have enough for Kenny. And I think it was, I can't remember.
Jack was right ahead of you. Yep.
Jack, sorry, Clevenger, yes.
Mm-hmm. Where did you need to be better then, and what could you have done?
I adjusted my gearing a little bit. I went to a taller gear thinking I was going to try and rip the top. It didn't get slick enough to where I wanted it to be. I thought the car was coming around there a little bit at the end, but I was trying to run the bottom too much in the beginning, and I should have had a shorter gear to be able to pull off the corner. And Kenny just kind of ran out of my life early on, and then Jack got around me, and that was all she wrote.
So you just watched him getting smaller and smaller, and there wasn't a darn thing you could do about it.
Essentially, yes.
Any thank yous you'd like to get out, Chris?
No, just the wife. You know, a couple of my buddies. You know, Ross, Rob, Kenny. These guys, they help me out in the past, and like Ross, my paint partner at Velocity. So always a pleasure running with them. They run clean, run hard. So you guys were putting it on, and we'll see you at the next one.
I'm curious, Chris, what does your lovely and supportive wife do while you're racing? Does she watch, or is she doing something totally different?
She generally watches. Yeah, I don't know what
Okay.
she's watching right now, but she's fantastic. She supports me through all this stuff, and you know, gives me time away from the kids and that. So honestly, and I can't do it without her. I mean, she carries a lot of the mail over here in our family. So shout to the wife.
Yeah, Chris wouldn't be able to do this if his kids were coming up. Hey, Dad, I need help with math here or something. So
Absolutely.
Nice job, man. Seriously, good talking to you again.
Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
Chris Sebeski with a nice 3rd place. Needed different gear to catch the race leader. Jack Clevenger will be making his way up next. He is with us right now. Boy, Jack, things got interesting there on the last lap. Did the leader, I must have missed it. Did the leader get together with somebody, or what happened?
You know, I think he might have got on the wall coming off of 4 a little bit, kind of got up over the curb into 3, but I don't know. I just started gaining on him there the last 2 laps.
Were you surprised when he started getting bigger like that?
A little bit. I mean, I was running it pretty hard. I was content with 2nd, but you know, when you can see the leader, it's always fun to try and chase him down, see if you can get him. Wish I could have got him a lap earlier and maybe had a chance to throw a slider on him on the last lap there.
I'm curious. We don't often go green to checkered in these deals. Would a caution have helped you, perhaps?
I don't, in my opinion, no, not me.
Okay. You're still there? There he is.
Yeah, I get in the groove there and start, you know, banging laps off, and it's always throws me off, and I get nervous at who's behind me and what I need to do different under caution. And if I can just keep racing, I'm good.
You know, you're right. I mean, I don't think that people who haven't had as much laps, and I know a lot of you guys who are listening and watching have done this before, but it really is, you can get into a rhythm, and when you break that rhythm, sometimes it could be very hard and sometimes impossible to get back into that rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. I get in my own head, and that's my own worst enemy there.
Oh, tell me about it. My daughter always says that all the time. In my own head. I got in my head. Jack, who do you want to thank that got your head around the racetrack fast tonight?
I want to thank the guys with Sim Racing Concepts, Rudine Racing. You know, Kevin Rudine kind of went out on a limb and sponsored us there, so that's pretty cool. And
nice.
Just everybody that helps us out.
Nice job, man, and congratulations. We'll see you in the championship on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Jack Clevenger, good run, 5th to 2nd here tonight. Made it interesting there on the last lap as well. Well, Kenny Miller had a big lead. That lead went away. He ended up only winning by 4/10. First of all, Kenny, congratulations. What happened in those last couple of laps to allow Jack to catch up to you a little bit?
There's a couple factors. I tagged the wall pretty hard. One of those laps with around 5 to go. Kind of felt knocked the car out of whack a little bit. And then also I was running a little bit low on fuel. So
Really?
I was trying to conserve a little bit. After I ran last night, I finished with a ton of fuel and cut it back a little bit tonight and might have cut it too close.
So how do you conserve fuel? Do you lift early? Do you wait on the throttle coming out, or maybe C, all the above?
It's more of all the above. Yeah, I tend to lift a little bit more in the center off to try to conserve some wheel spin and at the same time control some fuel, which seems to work pretty good. Thankfully I was able to save enough to not run out.
Of course, I know one thing from enough virtual racing myself, and I mentioned this with Jack about being in the rhythm. Doesn't that kind of screw you up a little bit? Did maybe trying to conserve fuel lead to you hitting the wall, perhaps?
Yeah, I think it definitely screwed my rhythm. Certainly going 25 laps, you kind of got to get in a good rhythm. And I felt like from start to around lap 20 again, I kind of had a good thing going. I felt real comfortable, and then kind of faded towards the end. So might have to work on some driving abilities, or maybe tune something up with the setup and see if it can't get a little bit better late race.
Of course, when you have very little fuel in the car, doesn't it change the handling and affect the grip that you're getting without that extra weight over the rear wheels?
Yeah, so the handling of the car certainly changes as the race goes on when you burn all that fuel. I think I started with 17 gallons and ended up with close to none. So
Whew.
that weight percentage certainly goes away and plays a toll on the car.
So maybe it's good we didn't have a caution with 3 to go, huh?
Yeah.
Any thank yous, Kenny, on your great run tonight?
You got to thank Weichel Sportswear, Ken Syke Repair, and just people that help me out in real life. And I think that's about it.
Good job, man. It was fun to watch you. We don't get many caution-free races, so congratulations. Nice job tonight.
Thank you.
Want to thank everybody from Kreitz Coast to Coast Sim Racing Team, Gambler Motorsports, Spartan Racing Team, Peerless Racing, GForceTV, of course, Velocity Race Designs, A&J Custom Creations, Weatherby Photo and Victory Lane, and of course Epsilon Sprint Wraps for helping with this Triple Crown charity event. Jake, we don't see a lot of races like that. That was really something, wasn't it?
From start to finish, no yellow flags, just race it out, and that's exactly what these drivers did here in the A main. And man, it was one incredible night of racing.
We'll be back again tomorrow night. Remember, we will be starting at 8 o'clock. Let me look at the schedule here. We will have Street Stocks here once again at Knoxville at 8 o'clock. 9:30, we'll be back with Pro Late Models tomorrow night. And, of course, we'll be back with Jake next Wednesday for more fun. Jake, first of all, thank you very much for your help tonight. He's the guy behind the scenes who presses all the buttons and does all the technical stuff I understand. So thank you very much for your support, sir.
Absolutely. It is a blast doing these races with you.
I'm having fun too, man. I just met Jake on maybe 15 minutes before we started last week, and it's like we've known each other for ages. For everybody at GeForce Racing League, boy, this was a lot of fun tonight. We hope to see you back again tomorrow night here at Knoxville for Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event, races 5 and 6 tomorrow. Thanks to everybody for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.